Have you ever found yourself wondering if you're slowly losing parts of your independence? Maybe it's subtle, asking for more help than you'd like, or depending on your children for things you used to handle yourself. It's not about pride, it's about that quiet feeling inside when you wish you could still do it all on your own. Here's the truth: getting older doesn't mean becoming helpless. It doesn't mean handing over the keys to your life. In fact, many people discover a whole new kind of freedom after 70, freedom from obligations, freedom from rushing, and yes, freedom to live life on your own terms, confidently and independently. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. In this video, we're diving into 7 powerful and practical ways you can stay independent after 70 without having to lean too heavily on your kids or anyone else. Because while it's wonderful to know your children care and are willing to help, it feels even better to know you're still in control. Let's talk about how to keep that feeling alive. So, let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you rearranged something in your home just because it made things easier for you? Not because it looked better. Not because someone suggested it. Just because it worked for you. That kind of small change, it's one of the most underrated secrets to living well on your own. Independence often starts with your environment. Think about it. If your kitchen is set up so you have to bend, reach, and twist every time you want to make a cup of tea, that wears you down. If your bathroom doesn't have a grab bar, or your hallway rugs slide when you walk, those little things can steal your confidence without you even noticing. So the first step is, make your home work for you, not the other way around. You don't need a renovation team or thousands of dollars. Sometimes it's as simple as moving the mugs to a lower shelf, installing a handle next to the shower, swapping slippery mats for ones with grip. These changes say, I'm in charge of my space, and I plan to stay in it safely. There's real power in those choices. And you don't have to wait until something bad happens to make them. A smart change today can mean fewer falls, fewer calls for help, and more days when you say, I've got this. Now let's talk about something a little more personal, your body. Not the way it looks. Not the numbers on a scale. I mean the way it moves. Staying physically independent after 70 isn't about running marathons. It's about staying steady, mobile, and confident on your feet. Have you noticed that when you stop moving, you start feeling older? It's no coincidence. Motion keeps us young. But it has to be the right kind of motion. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. You just need daily, gentle movement that keeps your joints loose, your muscles awake, and your balance strong. That could mean 10 minutes of stretching each morning. A walk around the garden. Lifting light cans while watching TV. Even standing up from your chair without using your hands, just to test your legs. Little habits, done often, send a powerful message to your brain. I'm still active, I'm still here, I'm still strong. And guess what happens when you move more? You start depending less. You're able to carry your own groceries. You can get up off the couch without worrying. That freedom, that's the core of independence. And it's completely within reach, even if you've had setbacks or surgeries. It's never too late to begin again, gently, kindly, one movement at a time. Now let me share something that might surprise you. Independence isn't always about doing everything yourself. Sometimes it's about knowing how to ask for the right kind of help. I know, it sounds backward, but think of it like this. If you have a system, if you plan ahead and get support where it makes sense, you keep your control. For example, if your back hurts every time you vacuum, consider hiring someone to help just once a month. That's not giving up. That's using your energy wisely. Or if you find it stressful to keep track of medications, using a pill organizer or asking your pharmacist for blister packs isn't weakness, it's strategy. Being smart about how you spend your time and energy means you'll have more freedom in the places that matter, your hobbies, your relationships, your peace of mind. That's the heart of true independence. It doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means choosing what matters, letting go of what drains you, and building a life that fits your pace, your needs, and your joy. So now that we've talked about your space, your body, and how to ask smartly, not desperately, let's keep going. Because independence after 70? It's not just possible. It's deeply personal and beautifully empowering. So let's talk about something that doesn't get mentioned nearly enough, the power of routine. Now, I know, routine doesn't exactly sound exciting. But here's the thing. As we get older, having a steady rhythm to our days isn't about boredom, it's about freedom. It's the freedom to know where things are, when things happen, and how to prepare for what's next. Think about how much calmer you feel when you wake up and already know what your morning looks like. You're not scrambling to find your slippers or wondering what to eat. There's comfort in predictability. And with that comfort comes confidence. You know what needs to be done, and you know you can handle it. Start simple. Maybe you stretch a bit before getting out of bed. Then it's a glass of warm water with lemon. A short walk, or even just sitting in the sun for a few minutes. These tiny rituals, done every day, create a kind of inner structure. They gently tell your brain, I'm steady. I'm still in charge of my life. The same goes for your meals, your medications, your sleep. When those things are steady, everything else feels a little easier. You worry less. You forget less. You depend less. That's what independence looks like. It's not flashy, but it's powerful. Now let's shift gears a little, because this next piece might sound emotional, but it's incredibly practical too. Have you ever felt like, as the years pass, people start talking to you differently? Maybe a little slower. Maybe they assume you can't do something without even asking. It can be frustrating, can't it? This is where self-advocacy comes in. One of the most important parts of staying independent is speaking up for yourself. That could mean being clear with your doctor about what you want, not just nodding along. It might mean telling your kids kindly, I appreciate your help, but I'd like to try it myself first. It might even mean setting a boundary with a neighbor or a friend who means well but oversteps. You are not being difficult. You are not being stubborn. You're being clear, and clarity is powerful. People treat us the way we train them to treat us. So when you speak up, calmly, confidently, respectfully, you're reminding the world that you still have a say. And believe me, that kind of independence, it lights a fire inside. But I also want to say this, don't forget to listen to your own voice, too. Sometimes we stop asking ourselves what we want. We get caught up in the routines, the responsibilities, or even the habits of always putting others first. But your needs, your preferences, they still matter. So take time to check in with yourself. Ask, am I happy with this setup? Is this working for me? If not, change it. That's your right. And here's something else, connection fuels independence. That might sound a little backward, but it's true. When you feel emotionally supported, even if it's just by one or two people, you're more likely to take initiative in other areas. You feel braver. You feel bolder. So don't isolate yourself thinking it's the only way to be truly independent. Independence doesn't mean being alone. It means having the confidence to choose your people, your activities, and your pace in life. Maybe that's reconnecting with an old friend. Or joining a book group at the library. Or even chatting with someone new during a morning walk. These moments of connection remind you that you still have so much to give, and so much to receive, too. You're not invisible. You're not done. You're just in a new season of life, and there's real beauty in that. Let's take a breath together. Because if you've made it this far, I want you to hear this loud and clear, you are doing better than you think. Every time you choose to show up for yourself, whether it's taking that short walk, fixing your own breakfast, or simply saying no, thank you when someone tries to overstep, you're exercising your independence muscle. But there's one last piece I want to leave you with. It's the one that pulls everything else together, and it might be the most surprising of all. It's this, your mindset shapes your freedom. Now I know, mindset sounds like one of those trendy words. But stay with me. If you believe that life after 70 is just a slow march toward decline, then everything starts to feel harder. Getting up becomes a chore. Making decisions feels heavy. You start to expect less from life and less from yourself. But if you believe that you're still learning, still evolving, still creating joy, then your days begin to open up again. You don't feel stuck. You feel curious. You feel engaged. You feel alive. You might be surprised how far a single mindset shift can go. Saying to yourself, I can figure this out, instead of I can't do this anymore. Replacing I'm too old for that with why not try. These aren't just positive affirmations, they're mental tools that rewire how your brain approaches each day. And the more you practice this, the more independent you become, not just in body, but in spirit. That's the kind of freedom that lasts. So take stock of all we've talked about: your environment, your movement, your habits, your voice, your people, and your mindset. These are your tools. They're gentle but powerful. And they're all within reach, right now. You don't need anyone's permission to live the way you want to live. You've earned this chapter. You've built the wisdom, the resilience, and the right to choose your own path. And if that path is paved with more self-respect, more strength, and a little more stubborn joy, all the better. Remember, small choices become powerful patterns. Every step you take to trust yourself more, to support your body, protect your space, or nourish your spirit, is a step toward more freedom. You're not less capable now. You're just more refined. More discerning. You know what matters, and what doesn't. So go ahead. Stand tall. Speak clearly. Stretch your arms and make space for the life that still wants to bloom around you. And if this video gave you a spark of hope or a reminder of your strength, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're doing to stay independent, strong, and joyful in this chapter of life. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more inspiring tips, and share this with someone you know who could use a little encouragement today. Here's to you, still rising, still shining, still free.